Hi, my name's Oliver Connor, Connor Insurance, and I'm here with the one and only Brittany. We're going to be talking coverage about some of the things that we see coming through the office. We've got another series that we do called Coverage Breakdowns, where I run through some of the things that that are important in the insurance industry as far as things you may not know. So go check that out if you haven't already. But we thought this would be a different way to bring you some of the same stuff. Brittany is here as the brains of the operation. I, of course, the looks. But Brittany's gonna tell us a little bit about some of the problems we're seeing in service. What are some of the things that we could talk about that are relevant today as far as what we're seeing coming through here?
The DMV is one, especially if you are purchasing a new vehicle or you're replacing one, turning one in. A lot of our clients do know about the whole turning the tag back to the DMV. So if they did not transfer the tag to the new vehicle, you do have to turn in the tag, or you will receive a lapse fee or a lapse letter in the mail from the DMV. It's anywhere from $50 to $60. I think we're not sure if they're increasing it. But that's just saying that you don't have coverage if we terminate the coverage before that tag gets turned in. That's a big one.
That's a great point. So let me just go ahead and throw this out there. We are not the DMV. We don't look anything like the DMV, but we are easier to reach than the DMV, so people call us a lot of times. It is not an insurance issue if the DMV wants to charge you $50 and come after your tags and stuff like that. That is not necessarily... It says there could be an insurance issue in the paperwork that they got there, but that doesn't necessarily mean there is an issue. There are many differences why you could have gotten that letter. So I want to break that down a little bit. From our understanding, again, outside looking in and some of the conversations that I've had with the DMV, they don't necessarily track the same things that insurance tracks. They're looking at VIN numbers for the vehicles, and then what they're saying is, did we get some sort of notification on this VIN number saying it's insured, right? And then what they do is they look at whose name and contact information is in their system, and that's who they send the letter to. We've gotten instances over the years where they don't even have that vehicle, or if there's a buy-sell agreement with someone, and let's say it's a trade with someone that you know, it's not done through a dealership. If you put the insurance on it in hopes of receiving that vehicle, and then they go back and they cancel that vehicle's insurance, their insurance, no, not the one, you took out your own insurance, but they go and cancel, the other party cancels theirs. The DMV will then see a cancellation of insurance on the vehicle that you're insuring and send you notice that it's now canceled. Doesn't have anything to do with your coverage.
Right.
So that's part of the frustrating part on our end, is really understanding, is the coverage there? Why not? So if you get one of those letters, our advice is please call us before you pay.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Call us. We actually ask for you to send us a copy of it. So snap a picture of it, either email or text it to us. That way we can really see the date they're requiring. We can break it down to see if you really did have coverage. If there is any kind of a lapse and what that looks like. Obviously, if there is coverage, then we just process it on our end. We'll ask the carrier to send the verification, and then it shows that there was no lapse, so you shouldn't have to pay. Again, that's up to the DMV, though.
Yeah, and some of these have been, I know they come in late in the mail. We've had some they're out of time. The DMV has been very gracious with the time they're allowing us to try to get this sorted. We found out that each carrier likes to handle FS1s, is the form, the FS1 liability form. They like to handle these a little bit differently. So we had to figure out what carrier you're with. Then it goes through that process, and hopefully we can get it cleared up. The other thing that I believe Brittany mentioned, and one thing that I definitely want to touch on, is VIN numbers. Insurance shows a VIN number that we key in, that we've been given most of the time by word of mouth, either from you, the insured, or someone at the dealership. And then we've manually keyed in, which leaves a lot of room for error when you have to go through a string of characters, numbers, and letters. So with that said, make sure you are reviewing your VIN numbers on all your vehicles, and that it matches up with the title. I know this is a pain and you shouldn't have to do this, but I know from personal experience, when I go to renew tag and registration with the DMV, you can click yes, it's insured.
Yeah.
And they will take your word for it. We've even had an instance where somehow, some way, people have had vehicles not on their policy because the dealership failed to call us, and they thought that was going to happen, and they show proof of like a current or past vehicle, right, to get the vehicle insured through the state, only to come to find out years later that vehicle was never on their insurance. There is no way for us to know, right? We try to send out emails at renewal to review your insurance. There is no way for us to double check on our end that vehicle exists in your parking lot or was swapped out if nobody contacted us. And ultimately what the carrier is going to say is that it's the insured's responsibility to reach out and make sure that VIN is accurate, because we don't know if there's some typo, whomever might have made that in the process. We don't have a way to verify that.
Right. So something that we've started doing, when you call in to add a vehicle or to swap, we ask that you snap a picture of the VIN, whether it's the title or on the paperwork you get or something, and text it to us, email it to us. That way we can verify that we're entering it correctly. Also, when we make changes to your policies, we are sending out emails from the carrier for you to sign, so you can verify the VIN is correct and verify that we added the correct coverage or the correct vehicle. So it's another step for you to verify that VIN number.
So I hope some of this has been helpful. We'll cut this short because we've gone on long enough about the DMV and problems that aren't ours, but we hope that we can help you with those, and we are here to do as much as we can. So I appreciate you listening in. Brittany, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.